Now, after you've gotten like your GS1 barcode, or maybe you're already established, you already have barcodes for your products. You just want to make sure that all that information that you have for your product is communicated to the Amazon system. And by that, I mean size, product dimensions, weights, all this stuff. So to kind of get like, not to get like too itemized, the best way to do it is to go into Amazon. In the top left hand corner, you got your little hamburger. Click that. It'll say catalog. I believe it says catalog, and then add products via upload. And then in there, if you walk through, I think it's the third tab or second tab. Anyway, put your product in. So if you sell fish aquariums, type in fish aquariums. If you sell shoes or whatever you're going to sell, just type that in. Amazon will have a category in there. You just select the one that best fits your product, download, and then you can see all of the stuff that you need. That way, if you are on your own, that you have like a checklist of what you need. If you have a team that you need to send this to different places, this could be your checklist. And I think that's a pretty good way to kind of start that process when you start collecting all the information that you need. James, did you have anything to jump in on with that?
Good point, Eric, on downloading the category listing report, basically, where you can not so much report, but a template, right? Gives you a step-by-step guide, so to speak, on the data fields that need to be filled out. Amazon wants as much data as possible. Obviously, the more data points, the better for the shopper experience. But I also think um, what we see too is clients or people not having like a master Excel file of all their products, their SKU, along with their UPC, along with like maybe a basic title and description, so forth and so on. Box dimensions is extremely important. Box weight. I noticed that a lot of clients don't have at the initial beginning. So making sure you have everything ready to go. That way, when you do fill out this template, you're not trying to scramble or pausing that first initial onboard.
So what you're talking about too is flat file uploads,
Wait,
which is definitely
yes. Sorry to cut you off. Yes, it is a flat file. That's kind of what you call it. But if you're not, let's say you're not averse to flat files or sheets, you don't have to use this method. So this method to grab that sheet, the flat file, is just so you have that checklist. You don't actually have to fill it out and then upload. You can, I mean, that's one way to do it, but you can go on the back end and just create manually create it. It just really depends. So I don't want to make anybody think that they have to do it one way or another. Whatever you're comfortable with, that's just a good place to kind of start, just so you kind of know. And it's a big scary list. So you will be,
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
That's what I was gonna kind of get into. Is like,
Yeah.
flat files were definitely one of my biggest weaknesses. I relied very heavily on my VAs and my just assistants that knew flat files like the back of their hand. I was never good at those. I don't know. I could not grasp them. I would always come back with some sort of error, and we're going to get into a few of those errors maybe a little bit today. But that might have to be a whole other episode because I know there's a lot of them, and they're not easy. But yeah, flat files were not the way to go. So let's say you're me and you don't like flat files. What other method can we do?
You can just go up there. I think it's the same thing up in the little hamburger, go down I think it's, what is it? Let me I'll just do it. We'll do it live.
Check it. We need
Add
like
products. So it's catalog, add products, super easy. And then the other way that we were just mentioning to get your flat file is add products via upload. And then I think it's either the second tab or the third tab where you can grab that data. One thing that I would like to kind of point out. So you guys are all ready to go. You have you have your GS1 UPCs. You have kind of your idea of what you're going to be selling. You're done with the product research. You're done with all that. You're just like ready to go. Now, depending on whether you are, a $1 billion company or a small company, I always recommend that you just take your UPC, whatever UPC or GTIN or EAN, whatever product identifier you're going to be using for your product. I would search that in the add products area. Sometimes back in the olden days on Amazon, they didn't have brand protection. So people would steal, borrow, make up numbers to fill in the UPC slot. And I've seen it no, I don't know, quite often would be the right way to say it, but I've seen enough heartache and heartbreak where you go and you check your UPC and it's already taken. And it could be could be a cell phone cover, cell phone case, or usually it's some sort of cell phone thing, so if that happens, that could be a whole nother podcast. So like if you are the red, I'm sorry, we won't get into that today, but if you are green, you're good to go, create your listing and you should be good.
Yeah, like I said, that's the way I've done it most of the time. It's definitely less. I don't want to say almost less straightforward because with the flat file, everything's like in its own column. You fill it all out, boom. I feel like with the manual upload, sometimes I have to dig around for some of the nodes, but for the most part, they're all kind of in the right. They're right there in the front. You can kind of fill in the important ones. Make sure all your information's filled in. Anything pertaining to your product. I know the biggest one that I always missed was same with that sock guy we talked about last time. Always forgot to mark his socks as either like male or female because they had two different pairs. And I know that's one of the nodes bad. So little stuff like that pertains to your category. Obviously, when whatever node you got there are going to switch, but